Hello guys, welcome to Falling Ducks. So I just want to bring you an update on this proposed rule. It's inadmissibility on public charge ground. We're gonna talk about it. Uh, these as DHS announced new proposed immigration rule to enforce long-standing law to promote self-sufficiency and protect American taxpayers. This has been published yesterday, September 22nd, 2018. This is right now a proposed rule, and then basically the community, the public, we have like 60 days, 2 months to comment on it. After that, that will be the rule of the land. Right now, it's unofficial as of right now. So what it is, let's dive in to understand what it is about. Maybe so you that can be confusing what they are talking about. Inadmissibility on public church ground. You see the word inadmissibility. Basically, it's the fact that your application for whatever the benefit, the immigration benefit, whether it's immigrant visa or non-immigrant visa. Example, most of the time people apply for green card. Okay, so they give now a new definition of inadmissibility on public church ground. That's mean the cause that they can refuse your application on the base that they think you represent a burden for the government. That's mean you are someone basically that the government gonna take care of you. Okay. In fact, that's not a new rule. We already had it. But what they did right now, it's the fact that they integrate some other application that wasn't in these public child ground. So example, Medicaid. Medicaid, it's basically you needed to go to the hospital, you know. So that so it's an insurance. So which means right now, because you use Medicaid, something for your health, it might be possible later on when you try to get like a green card. I say it might, because we're gonna see the detail. But you need to understand it clearly. That doesn't mean automatically, you will get denied, but there is a possibility because of you use Medicaid, and then when you try to apply for a green card, they say your application is denied because they think you're gonna be a charge for the government. Okay, they include also food stamp. Food stamp was not in it. So basically, in the past, it's only people that receive cash assistance and people that was in intensive care. But as of right now, it's like they expand it to include Medicaid, to include food stamp. In fact, what you need to know, people were talking about that Obamacare were in it. No, so they didn't include Obamacare. That means if you are in Obamacare, you don't need to worry about. People were talking about the WIC also, the program for the pregnant. So if you are using the WIC, you don't need to care about it. Okay. One thing to keep in mind also, if you are a U.S. citizen, or if your kid is a U.S. citizen and your kid is using food stamp, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so those kind of people is excluded from the consideration of public charge, as well as some specific immigrant like refugees, and if you are on TPS, temporary protected status, those kind of immigrant, they are excluded. It's mainly it's so those kind of immigrant, they are excluded from these these this public charge ground. So what I mean by that is that, the example, if you're a refugee, they know exactly the fact that you're a refugee means your economic condition is really poor. They really know. So why they will use public charge ground on it. Okay. So I just want to clarify some, certain point on this new proposal. So also what you need to know, if your example, a family of 4, okay, and then your income for the year is 60 22,750. Just an example. So you don't need to worry about this new rule, which means, your income, I told you, a family of four, income of 60,700 for the year. So you don't need to care about, this new proposed rule, okay? So the same thing for one person is 30,250. So what that mean? It's been example, if in the past you use food stamp Medicare at a certain level, and then later on you try to improve your income, okay? Just an example. A couple of years later, you try to improve your income, and let's say a mother and a father of two kids, and then your income improve, and the income of the family is 62,750. So you apply for adjustment of status. That means they will not care about the fact that you use food stamp or Medicare. They will not care about it. And then also, what you need to know, you can still use food stamp and Medicaid if it's not more than 15% of the poverty guideline, which means, example, as of 2018, if the benefit that you are receiving from the government in terms of food stamp and Medicaid is not more than like 3,000 and something. So let's say someone that is receiving only 200 a month on food stamp, basically for the year that give you 2,400. Okay, so this is not 15% of the poverty guideline. You're still fine, but remember, this is not only for the food stamp. You need to consider also the benefit that you receive from Medicaid. If when you add up both of them, if you go over 3,700, which means they might consider consider these kind of people in the set of people that might be, I say might be on public charge, because there is different factor, like I told you before. If the person is a US citizen, so they will be excluded. So like I told you, it's a document. It's 447 pages. There is a different detail. We just receive it. We try to explore some detail about, just to let you inform, because so many misconceptions people are talking about. We know some people that have Medicaid, they really need it. It's not the fact that they are trying to, to take advantage of the government. It's about health. In fact, I think health shouldn't be included in it, because people that go to a hospital, they just need to stay healthy. Because I don't get it. Again, because I don't get it. But the fact they include Medicaid, I don't get it. Because other countries like Canada, they consider like entitlement to stay healthy. Even some poor country, they think being healthy, taking care of your health, shouldn't be something. Okay, let's close this debate. But the fact they include Medicaid on it. So if you're using certain amount of Medicaid, like I told you, if they combine Medicaid and food stamp, you go over 3,700 something. So they might consider you, depend of your status. Okay. So when they say inadmissibility, it's inadmissibility. It's not only for immigrant visa. It's not only when you're trying to get like a green card. It's only also if you want to extend your stay in USA. We know some people that come here just to study. There are people that come here just to work for a specific company. We got different type of immigrant. They are all affected. They are all affected as long as they use public benefit. Like I told you, food stamp and Medicaid, they might be affected. And then you need to know these new rule. It's unofficial right now. What you need to understand, the government don't need the vote from the Congress to enforce this rule, because this rule, that's not a new rule. They just redefine what it is inadmissible. They just extend, they extend the number of benefit that should be included instead of it. But In the past we used to have like cash assistance, intensive care only. On this they might say, okay, guess what, you are receiving cash assistance from the government, you are on intensive care. So if you try to petition for a family member or you try to change your status, they might say, okay, you are inadmissible. That means they might deny. Although there is different alternative example, there is a provisions where if they find that you are inadmissible on the base of public charge, they might give you the possibility to pay a bond of $10,000, which means they find out, so you can be denied on base on public charge. I mean, they say, okay, there you go, you're gonna give 10,000 like a bond, and then after that they will give it back to you once you become US citizens. That's the way it's gonna do. So we're gonna try to explore it, but the main rule, as you understand, the idea is to try. In fact, the administration is trying to do whatever it can to decrease the number of people that can get legal status is here. That's the goal. So because according to them, that might give more opportunity to some group Republican if we have less immigrants. So whatever it is, they try. But as you know, last week they reduced, the cap for the amount of refugees. And okay, right now they reduce it one more time. Okay, so you see, so it's doing whatever we can. Also TPS has been closed. No more TPS. So it's do whatever we can to reduce the flow of immigrants. Regarding public shares, although the stat prove most people that use, although statistically the number prove that the number of people that use food stamp and other benefit, they are not really immigrant. Most of them are US citizens, but it doesn't care. It doesn't matter. So the idea is let's do whatever we can to prevent the flow, of immigrant in this country. So which means immigrant represent like a threat, a threat. It shouldn't be like that. We know so many immigrants that give their share to the progress of this country. They are in different level in this country, So I think we should take people as they are, not give a label or you are immigrant. Immigrant shouldn't be a definition of who the person is. It's about, even so if you start talking about color, where I'm come from, or my status here, that doesn't define who I am. We should stop this nonsense. We need to stop this mess. Stop black people, white people. That's not define us. We're not defined by color or by status. So let's accept people. Let's judge them by their actions. Stop labeling them. So when we talk about good people, bad people, they are everywhere. We got good cop, by the way. Stop telling that all the cop people, they are the one that are killing them. No, that's not true. We got so many cop, when we watch some video, when we see some cop, some good police, they're giving their contribution to the community. They are not all killer. It's the same thing. So let's come together, black and white. We know we are there. We represent the core of this country. Don't let them divide us. Don't let this happen, okay? So we know this rule that might change because it's only from this government, it's only from the Trump administration. So which means basically a new administration after 4 years can just erase this one. Okay. So basically, I think regarding healthcare, people shouldn't be inadmissible because they went to hospital trying to get. It shouldn't be like that. I might understand if you don't want to work and you want to stay only on food stamp and then you don't. That in fact there is a rule for that. We know also the food stamp it's for specific situation. Let's say you just lose your job. We need to understand. And you trying to get back of the government just trying to help you, before you get a new job. That's the way it is. So let's take it the way it is. So we don't want anyone to take over the people. We want everyone to start working, do your best and fight. Okay, but we want to help also to give you pushback. That's the way we should understand it. So stop, this spreading this hate, That's the way we should understand it. But either way, they bring this change, so you need to be aware of it. It's like I told you, it's really huge document. We're trying to dive. We'll bring you later on other update about it, what you need to know about it. But I think pretty sure, like I told you, the public charge is not only for your past, it's for your future. Even though you've been on some kind of benefit, Medicaid or food stamp, if right now if after that your condition improve, they need to consider that also. They need to consider like your level of education. So let's say if I have a bachelor degree, see, even though if I use a food stamp, it's gonna be tough to explain how I'm gonna become a public charge if I have a master degree, which means I might not have a job right now, but potentially I can get a good job. So they, according to the law, they need to consider, your skill, your age, your health, all of that also. That's what you need to know regarding the fact the public charge, okay? And then the rule will not be retroactive, which means it's not, the rule should not consider, your situations, before, because you are not living under this rule. You see my point, which means they will consider those Medicaid and food stamp after the rule, after they change it. But if it's right now you are using it, they cannot say in 2018 you use it. No, because in 2018 right now we are not living under this rule. That's the way you should understand it. And the new rule also will consider the 36 last month, which means, let's say I'm 2018, let's say in 2021, okay? It's in 2021, the year 2021, so they will consider the last 3 years. But let's say if you are on the year 2022, okay, 2022, so they cannot consider the 2018, okay? That's what you should understand. So I just want to bring you, some kind of, update is what you need to know about this new, they call it proposed immigration rule to enforce long-standing law that promotes self-sufficiency and protect American taxpayer. According to the news, Miller is the one that is behind all those change. This guy Miller, you may heard about it. He's the one that was behind, the Muslim ban, as well as, the no tolerance policy, separation of children. He's the one behind all those change. So let's see what's gonna happen. But you need to stay informed with what's going on in this country. And then we are not trying to give you legal advice. We just need to bring you some update about the change that's happening on immigration, as well as update of the news what's going on in this country. So if it's the first time that you are with us, I will encourage you to subscribe here and stay tuned. Okay, take care, guys.